Hey Vintage, it is great to communicate with you once again. I was going to say it's great to see you again, but I can't yet. I have to wait until May 17th. So it is exciting to stare at my screen hoping you get this message. There's a bunch of money that came in this last week. I've updated the database, so if you need your totals, feel free to send me an email. There's also a few of you that have checks that were written out personally, so I need to have you sign those on the back so that I can turn them in, okay? So I'll get those to you as soon as possible. Some really cool things that I was just in the Dominican Republic and Costa Rica last week for our GAP graduation, which is a different story, but I was able to meet with Erica, who is in charge of our anti-human trafficking initiatives down in the Dominican Republic, and she had some really amazing, heartbreaking but amazing things to share with me. And one of the things that she asked from our team, just real quickly, is, hey, Jess, we have opportunity to speak in the schools. The government trusts SCORE. It trusts what Lily House, which is the organization that she calls the anti-trafficking initiatives that she's doing. It's an actual place. You'll get to see it, which is awesome. But she said, Jess, listen, you can share the gospel in the schools if you want. You have full rights to do anything that you want. And so one of the things that I was thinking about and just brainstorming, and I want to run this by you and we can talk about it a little more in the meeting, is, hey, let's get into a school, even one that's right down the way from the SCORE complex in a suburb-ish town called Guayacanes. There's a school there, a secondary high school, and we have an opportunity to share the gospel there. But what if we couched the gospel in a discussion, maybe separating the sexes, so to speak, in discussing just human dignity and how God views humanity, and why we think that life is sacred, and then why relationships are sacred, and why marriages are sacred, and why there is value that is intrinsic to us living lives according to the way that God would want us to. And so maybe we separate the guys and have a girl speak to them about, hey, this is how a guy should treat me. This is how you need to be treating the women in your life. And maybe we have a girl talk or a guy talk to the girls about dignity and the ways that a guy should be treating a woman, and how relationships should go. Maybe we have girls just talking to girls, guys talking with guys. About pornography, which is rampant, and addiction and alcoholism. There's a bunch of different ways we could go, while at the same time pointing towards Jesus and saying, hey, listen, He is the one that transforms a heart, and we would love for you to be able to engage Him in a personal way. And so, guys, if any of this sort of tickles your fancy, or more importantly, sort of gets at a passion in your heart for people to not just engage with the gospel, but see that that dignity is a major issue, value, human value is an issue that we can talk about in the schools, then let me know. I would be really excited to talk to you further about that as we investigate that. So, okay, so that is awesome. Amazing opportunities that we might have down in the DR. I just wanted to take our minds real briefly to Scripture. There is a verse that I've read many times, and probably some of you have read this a bunch of times too. It comes from Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. It says, therefore, since we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. And when I was in high school, I ran track. And I didn't really like track, but there are pretty girls on the team, and therefore I ran track. Good idea, Jess. Unfortunately, I did enjoy running. Okay, I played soccer, whatever. But those races that I ran, the 400 and 800, were really hard. The training was really grueling, and I really just wanted to throw shot put because throwing a rock around for a while and then going home sounded awesome to me. But I ran the 400 and 800, and man, the race was marked out for me, and it was grueling. The tension, it was, I didn't really like running around in an oval, especially at full speed, and then wanting to throw up at the end. It just wasn't my idea of fun. If there was a ball in front of me, that was different. But what I want to, basically get to, guys, is what is the race in the next few months? What is the race that is marked out for you? Some of you have, you're finishing school. Some of you have a summer job. Some of you have relationships that, you're navigating with family or a significant other or romantic interest, etc. There's a race that has sort of been, set in place, and you're trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing? And so we need to be running with perseverance and not running aimlessly, but we need to have our focus on Jesus, in which it says in verse 2, it says, let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author, or the pioneer, you could say as well, and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorned the shame, sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. So for me, running track, it was hard work. I mean, training for any marathon or anything, medical exams or your GREs or, whatever tests that you have to take, especially the evil cumulative ones. Those are tough races that you have to navigate, and even tougher are the life situations that you guys have to endure. And so we need to fix our eyes on Jesus. And so I just ask you, whether it's in your journal or whether it's with a friend, accountability partner, or on the computer as you're writing and just getting your thoughts out, ask God, Lord, what is the race that is marked out for me this summer? And I know that you set the example for enduring. You endured the cross, scorned the shame, sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. And consider him who endured such opposition from sinful men, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. And as I told you guys a little while ago in our last meeting, man, there's going to be stuff this summer that is going to try to steal your focus away from God. The race that is marked out for you, Satan is going to want to navigate you in areas. And sometimes your emotions are going to want to navigate you in areas that just aren't on the track. It's going to be off the track. But the scripture says, consider him who endured. And so that is why we focus on Jesus, because he went before us. He ran the race perfectly, enduring perfectly before us, and he sets the example for us. So I just want to encourage you, as you think about going to the Dominican Republic and the opportunity to maybe be stretched and speaking in front of people when you're scared, or in dealing with some school academic issues or personal issues, family issues, what is the race that God is asking you to run? And are you willing to trust him with the direction of that race, as well as the perseverance to be able to endure some stuff, so that you can come out and have victory in some areas of your life? So I'm super excited to see you guys in another week or so. Remember, May 17th is our next meeting, right there where we met before, same time, same place. And I am just grateful that you guys would watch this video, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that is afforded us in a few months. So have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.